I will be talking about my only favorite thing, sports. First off in the news is we find out Ezekiel Elliott 6-game suspension. First thing, Roger Goodell said the 6-game suspension for domestic violence on Ezekiel Elliott as they upheld the call of the suspension, which resolves that he is going to be playing in week 1, but as it says, they haven't fully found out if he's going to have the suspension or not. It's still a mystery, says on sportsoverdose.com. As the next couple of days, the judges come out and he does not have the suspension. Hi everyone, I'm back. Now moving on to the next topic in the NFL is week 1 is coming up and these teams are prepared to play as the roster's ready and everybody is excited to see their team gets a great start because I know my team, the Ravens, I'm hopeful that they can win. I'm excited for week 1 and the weeks that come ahead, and I hope everyone else is excited if you're a sports fan, because this is going to be a great 2017-18 NFL year. The results of week 1 was a blast, and I hope it was fun for you guys too. Many games were close, showing the top close games as the Falcons barely topped the Bears 23-17. And Pittsburgh gets the win by a field goal against the Browns 21-18. As Buffalo Bills top off one of their rivals, Jets 21-12. So now we're showing the most dominated games. As the Ravens top the Bengals 20-0. Ravens defense dominated that game. That led them to a big victory. Now another rival, Redskins and Eagles. Close game through the first half, then after that it was Eagles half in the second part of the game as they win 30-17. Then got to the Panthers sweeping by the 49ers 23-3. And some more games like the Rams got a big lead from the start, whooped the Colts by a giant margin 46-9. That is a chunk of good games and blowout games on Sam Wall. A little bit annoying, so we can move on and all in a lot of games. So exciting as the first weeks in the books. Okay, everybody, still tuned in. We got more news. Who likes fantasy football? I know I do. You can pick your favorite players, stars, and people for fun or big bucks. It's fun and it's very tense. And now in the news of fantasy is who is Ezekiel Elliott fan? Me? My opinion? No. He is a great ball player. It shows now if you have him, you can switch him in. So it's good news if you have him. Next on the fantasy news is some of these on-fire players like Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Carson Palmer, and all the other great guys. If you have those star players, you'd be ready to get a lot of points from those guys. Okay, I'm back to give you more on what's going on sports now. We're switching gears to basketball. Now, Isaiah Thomas says this trade did not make Celtics better. I agree, don't you? I think the Cavs got the best of the trade from getting Isaiah, Jay Crowder, and Jeff Gordon for Kyrie Irving, don't you think? Now, we'll most likely see if this was a good trade for the Cavs or the Celtics once it hits basketball season. Okay, back to football, but it's college football, week 2 in the books. It was fun, interesting, games were close, and most were a blowout, as West Virginia tops East Carolina 56-20. Then Michigan State tops Western Michigan 28-14. Then Oklahoma State rocked South Carolina 44-7. And there's more as Louisville tops North Carolina 47-35. Then Big Michigan beats Seattle 36-14. Then there's more lots of games as Washington crushes Montana 63-7, highest scoring of the week. Then a big game they talked about, the rematch Oklahoma and Ohio State. Oklahoma comes victorious 31-16. Then more to come. Close one, went to overtime. Boise State falls short to Washington State 44-47. Then another interesting one, Clemson pulls it off against Auburn 14-6. Not going to repeat all the games because that's a lot of games. It gets boring. The rest were some close ones and major blowouts as the wonderful 2018 college football week 2 comes to an end, and hopefully it gets interesting as the weeks come. Now the big talk, Penn State and Pitt game. It was interesting. I'm not a Penn State or Pitt fan, so it wasn't a big deal for me, but it was probably a big deal for you. If you're a Penn State fan, it's interesting that for Penn State, McSorley was 15 for 28, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, so a great day for McSorley. Then on the other side, Pitt, Brown, 19 for 32 and only 1 touchdown. Wasn't great for them as Penn State tops Pitt 33-14. Now Houston college teams staying off campus now to Hurricane Harvey has done, and the damage leads these teams to postpone their games until notice, hoping that they can get back in running, not just the football teams, the colleges in general too. Now, generous guy, a famous defensive end, J.J. Watt, has donated $30 million to the Hurricane Harvey Relief Fund for food and other needs that they need, and J.J. Watt has helped a lot in Houston. I'm back with some breaking news that Miami and Tampa Bay will not be playing in Week 1 due to Hurricane Irma, which may result in them playing on their bye week. Hopefully that there will not be other big issues like this to go smoothly, because this hurricane is coming to a Cat 5 storm. Safety first, and hopefully this big tragedy doesn't happen again. As another short breaking news in Florida, college football teams remain displaced due to Hurricane Irma that's been coming through, and as it says on Fox News that Florida International and Florida Atlantic, they wait until the storm passed by, and officials wait until it's okay to come back. Okay, now conversation at Ohio State and Oklahoma game. Was this overboard or was this just celebrating? Number 6 on Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield, sticking the flag at the 50-yard line. But I think it was just celebrating, maybe a little too ever. But big rival, big rematch, they're happy, excited. I don't think this is a big problem. Now the NFL, there's some big key in the NFL is some big key injuries, and some minor as we go over. And now Joe Flacco gets evaluated for a concussion, but he was great as he continued throughout that game. And staying with the Ravens, Danny Woodhead, left hamstring, doubtful to come back, a big loss for the Ravens for their backfield. Danny Woodhead is expected to come back in 6 to 8 weeks. As we continue on the injury list, now this was a big one. Julian Edelman. Now, will this ruin the Patriots Super Bowl bid? Then one of the Miami loss was Ryan Tannehill. Got injured in practice, which won't get Miami a great start. He might be out for a long time or this whole season, so this is pretty bad for the Miami Dolphins. They are your injury list, not everybody, but the most talent and key players that the team needs. Okay, as I end this podcast, hopefully you enjoyed this podcast, especially sport fans. If you're not a sports fan, that's fine. Thank you for listening to the news I had to say, and see you next time.